Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. How are we all? Hope we're all good. It's Friday, the 8th of August. Sun is kind of shining. I've got a heat wave coming next week, apparently, for about a week. Take it. But the sun's kind of shining. It's all right today. We're all good. Hope you're all good. Hope you're all ready for the weekend. I've got something new today. I say new. I'm going to try something live on air. Live on air. Not that it's a big deal, really. But, basically, I've not had my breakfast yet. I'm sorry about this. You're going to have to watch me eat my breakfast, if it's any good. So, I have recently, a couple of days ago, made this pina colada yogurt bowl, which is basically pineapple, coconut, yogurt, some chia seeds are in there, whey protein powder, got a nice pineapple ring, and some granola that's probably gone a bit soft now. It's actually quite chewy. It's quite nice. If you make this as meal prep, kind of recommend doing the granola separate if you like a bit of crunch. But I quite like it when it goes a bit soft. It's a bit like not a porridge, I don't know how to describe it. A bit like a soft flapjack. Anyway, when I first came up with this idea, I made yogurt and I was like, oh, it tastes really nice. And then I meal prepped it. The next day, it tasted a bit rank. I'm going to be honest with you, it was really bitter. Anyway, I come on yesterday and I mentioned it, and then I think it was Emma, said it could be the pineapple reacting with yogurt. Anyway, I've done a little bit of Googling, a little bit of chat GPTing, as it were. And chat GPT was like, yeah, the fresh pineapple causes the protein in the yogurt to break down, which can turn it very, very bitter. Leave it too long, it'll actually turn it to curdle. So, okay. So, make it fresh and eat it straight away. It's fine. But if you want to make it the night before and take it for your breakfast, like I've done here, an issue. So, what's the solution? Tinned pineapple apparently is the solution. Tinned pineapple is heat treated. It therefore loses whatever it is in the pineapple that breaks the yogurt down. So, I'm going to try it here. And you can see from my face whether I'm lying or not. All right? I also think this is better. It's lovely fresh. But if you leave it overnight, all the yogurt soaks into the desiccated coconut and it kind of rehydrates it. It's nice. The texture's good. Anyway, what's the taste going to be like? Absolutely bang on. Absolutely bang on. Screaming for talking. Get him. It's delicious. That is a pina colada yogurt bowl. Right. I'm going to today refilm. I deleted the reel that I did showing how to make it. I'm going to refilm it today using tin pineapple. I'm sorry. You have to sit there and watch me eat it. Right? That's just the way it is. And then we'll get into the live. Absolutely buzzing with that. Absolutely buzzing. It's so good. Honestly, it really is. I never knew that. Never knew. I don't know if it's citric acid. I don't know if it's all acidic fruit. So I don't know if mango would do the same. I don't know if it's just specific to pineapple. I have no idea. But ChatGPT again was right. Use tin pineapple. Well, I'm just gone down. I've just sent an invitation to someone. Please ignore it. I said ignore it. I might have to end the live because I do not know how to end these. I do not know. Oh, someone's ended it already. That's all good. That's all good. That's all good. When you're scanning up, you can catch invitations. I wish you could turn it off. It's so annoying. It's like invite such and such to go live yet. Oh, I don't need to. And then when you're scrolling, you catch it. To be fair, when you do a TikTok live, if you scroll to the right, it takes away those invite things. But anyway, we're all sorted. Anyway, right. I never know how to end them. They're so annoying. Like, TikTok Live is really, really good, but certain parts of it are so annoying. And sometimes, like, people send invites and you accept them. You're like, I didn't want an invite. Go away. Anyway, there we go. We're good. Pina colada yogurt bowl. Absolute hit. Pineapple coconut. It's not even that strong in coconut. The only thing, you might like a bit more of a coconut strong flavour. I'm not that bothered about it. Desiccated coconut's got some great minerals, vitamins in it and stuff like that. But it's quite calorific. It's dried, so I don't know what you could use to get a stronger coconut flavour. I've actually got a coconut cream that I use when I make a pina colada at home. It's not alcoholic, it's just a coconut cream. Could use that. Or you could get, I think like Monin do like coconut syrups to give it a stronger coconut flavour. But I think this flavour's decent. It's just got a hint. If you're not a massive fan of coconut, you'd still like this because it's just got a hint of it. Really good. Big bowl of it as well. Like, obviously, any recipes that I make, you can adjust portion size to suit your calories. But I think this, what I'm eating now, and it's took me a while, I know I'm nattering as well while I'm eating it, but it's only about 350, 400 calories. We're nearly there. That was absolutely amazing. Oh my God. So, so good. Right. I'm going to refill my pina colada recipe using tinned pineapple. Keep a lookout this afternoon. Right. Let's do top 5 on TikTok. Lou's in at number 1. Amy's in at number 2. Donna's in at number 3. Deb's is in at number 4. And Joy is in at number 5. Good morning, guys. You're on top 5 this morning. Thank you very much for jumping straight to the live. Good morning to Vicky, who's on Facebook. Callum, good morning. Lise, good morning. Amy, James, good morning, good morning. The Wise Soul, good morning, boss, good morning. Stefan's in, good morning. Anna, morning, everyone. Happy checking day. Really chuffed with mine. Anna, you've done absolutely superb. Really, really good. Hope the weather's good. I'm on the way for my flight to the UK. Brilliant, Stefan. Yeah, it's all right. I think it's meant to be a bit drizzly tomorrow afternoon, but nothing major. Sunshine before and after. And but yeah, the weather is very decent here today. Well, it's all right, you know. The weather's been has to be good when the kids go back to school. The weather will be amazing when the kids go back to school. September, we tend to have a decent September. Anyway, hey, I've seen your live after ages. You've leveled up with the background. Oh, thank you very much. I know Kevin said like it is the wrong way round, which I didn't really think about too much. It would have been done better reverse, but it doesn't matter. It is what it is. I can mirror, which I always think is a little bit weird, but I can if I go into my settings. Where is it? Here, mirror settings. I can mirror the background, so it basically is the right way around. So it says "Lost Boss." Same with the old TikTok, but I think it's always weird because I never. There you go. It actually now says the real Lost Boss. So everything is the right way around. Maybe I should just do this permanently, and everyone will just get used to it that it's mirrored and it actually says. The real Lost Boss. Anyway, yes, I have leveled up the background. Thank you very much. Emma's in. Good morning. Let me scale up. In fact, I'm going to swipe across again. Maybe flavour drops. Yeah. Possibly. Like I say, I like coconut, but I don't ever want like 15 grams of desiccated coconut in there. It just gives you a nice hint of coconut rather than you could put 10 grams in the yogurt and sprinkle 5 grams on top. Maybe that might, but it just gives you a hint. It's not too overpowering, which for me personally, I'm all right with that. It's just some people might like that big hit of coconut, and you don't get that with it. Anyway, there you go. Just join what you just had. I've just had a pina colada yogurt bowl, and it was ace. I am going to work on a yogurt bowl recipe. They're an absolute game changer. And do you know what? It's nothing new. What is new with my yogurt bowls is I've took them to another level. It was always my go-to breakfast when I was a PT, right? And I called it the boss's staple. I've talked about it for years. Yogurt and protein powder mixed together, that's it. And then I just top it with a bit of fruit and a bit of granola. It's a bit boring, the boss's staple. It's easy, it's quick, it's straightforward. It's a little bit boring. So I've been trying to take my yogurt bowls in 2025 to the next level because I'm like, they've been a game changer for my weight loss this year. They really, really have. They're extremely filling, extremely delicious. They taste like a dessert. That tastes like a dessert to me. That is as good as any. Like, it's really, really. I'm not just saying that. For me personally, I'm like, it just ticks all the boxes. But they're extremely delicious. Really, really delicious. Really, really tasty. I look forward to eating them. They're full of protein, full of fiber if made correctly. So, and they're a good volume. So they're a great option for. I've made Rachel 2 this week, and she's took him for lunch. She's not even had him as a like. She's took him for lunch. That's what she's had for a dinner, and she's loved him. So they're just an absolute game changer. But variety is the spice of life, and literally my boss's staple was always Greek yogurt with protein powder. That was, and I'd use maybe chocolate or vanilla. That was it. Blueberries, strawberries, and a bit of granola on top, which is great, really, really nice. But now just trying to come up with different ideas, different themes, different flavors. It's the same thing, but it's like having 20 different ice cream flavors. Ice cream's ice cream. But nowadays, years ago, you get vanilla, chocolate, strawberry. Now we've leveled up, haven't we, with ice cream? We're literally like Ferrero Rocher, Kinder Bueno, Nutella cheesecake, blackcurrant cheesecake. I'm trying to go for the flavor. Apple crumble. And it just makes things like, it's just like, it just makes things. Sometimes we eat with our eyes. We eat with our brain, don't we? Like, that's when something sounds good, I've literally called that a pina colada yogurt bowl, which absolutely straight away, if you're a bit of a piss can like I am, I'm not, but I don't mean that badly. But if you're someone that's like, pina colada, I love pina colada. It's my favourite ever cocktail, by the way, which is why I go on about him quite a lot, right? And if you like him and, Dancing in the Rain or whatever it is, right, it's great. It's a pineapple and coconut yogurt bowl, but absolutely delicious. Anyway, Mr. John Jackson's on YouTube. Good morning. And Katie, good morning. How accurate are Apple Watches? They're not. But we shouldn't be looking at them for anything other than counting steps and accountability, right? So I heard it overestimates for cardio and underestimates for strength. No, not really. No, it overestimates for everything, really. They're very, very generous. But the only way it overestimates is calories burned. We do not look at fitness trackers for calories burned, right? We don't do that. They're not there for that. So you might be like, well, what's the point in having an Apple Watch then and putting my workouts on when I'm training? Accountability. So don't see that number when you are exercising. Don't see that number as these are my calories burned. See that number as learning what your average workout would say on your watch as a number, and then setting yourself a benchmark. So for me personally, when I do my spin class, my benchmark for my spin class is 550 calories. That is what I put indoor cycling on my watch, and my benchmark is 550. Do I burn 550 calories in a 35-40 minute spin class? Absolutely no, right? I probably burn about 350 calories, something like that. So, but I know my bench, because I've done spin for that long. I put my indoor cycle on every time I do it, apart from Tuesday when I forgot because I was trying to vlog it, which I've still done and I've not managed to edit it yet. I will sort that out at some point. Right, so vlog my spin class, so you can have a little look at what it's like coming into one of my spin class. Yeah, so 550 is my benchmark in about 40 minutes. So if I do a spin class and my watch says 700 in 40 minutes, I know I've worked really hard in my spin class. If my watch says 450, what is my benchmark with weights? 30 minutes of weights, 300 calories. My benchmark for any exercise that I do is 10 calories per minute, right? For my Apple Watch, 10 calories per minute. Do I burn 10 calories per minute? No, I probably burn, normally they're about 25% optimistic, right? But it just gives me a benchmark. So if I do 30 minutes of weights and my watch says I've burned 220 calories, have I been a bit lazy in that workout? Have I not put the effort in? Likewise, if I do 30 minutes of weights and my watch says I've done 340 calories, I'm then like, yes, I've put the effort in. So they're fantastic for that. But never get downbeat, oh, calories burned, this, that. No, just use it to set your own benchmarks for your workouts. Right? That's how you should look at them. But generally, doesn't matter whether it's cardio or strength training, they tend to be optimistic. On average, for most people, about 25 minutes. They're about 25 minutes optimistic. 25 minutes. About 25%. Right? So if your watch says you do 500 calories in a workout, you're probably around 375. Something like that. Right? That's on average. Yeah. Muller has started doing apple crumble yogurts. Muller have not started doing apple crumble yogurt, Stefan. They've been doing them for ages. They're an OG. They bring them back. They sort of bring them back as limited edition, and they are amazing. They're a Muller corner, right? So you've got apple and yogurt, and then you've got like a crumble in the corner to put on top. They are amazing. They are amazing. They're quite calorific. They haven't got loads of protein in. Muller corners haven't. They're a full fat yogurt. And obviously you've got like a full sugar compote in there, and then obviously a topping or something like that. But they are definitely worth a treat. All right, they're definitely worth a treat. Jumped on MJ for a kickstart. Maybe daft, but dropped 4.3 kilogram scale weight in a week. Also chuffed. Nothing to do with MJ, Mark. That's to do with calorie deficit and your whoosh effect. I'll always be honest about everything because I never want people to get carried away, because some people might read that and go, oh my God, this person's lost 11 pounds in a week because of Manjaro. No, they've not lost it because of Manjaro. If Mark had eaten exactly the same foods and the same quantities and everything like that on MJ or not, the weight loss would have been exactly the same. What MJ does is it helps you control your appetite. All right. Would Mark have been able to control his appetite in the first week? Now, it's not daft jumping on MJ. You need to do your research with it. I do not like the word kickstart when it comes to weight loss. What is the issue with this kickstart when it comes to weight loss? People set themselves unachievable mindsets. What I mean by that is I get a lot of people saying, and this is what Manjaro can kind of do, especially if you're over suppressing yourself, is I'm thinking of doing 1,000 calories a day for 2 months to kickstart my weight loss. Weight loss, so if you're in a calorie deficit, you started your weight loss journey. Right? What you're basically saying is, what I want to do is lose a ridiculous amount of weight at the start of my journey. I get why people want to do that. They want to do it to try and boost their confidence a little bit. And the only reason why anyone wants to kickstart their weight loss is because they see their journey as overwhelming. They see it as, I've got 100 pounds to lose. I've got 200 pounds to lose. If I lose a pound a week, it feels like it's a long way away. So if I can drop 50 pounds in the first 3 months, I've made a really good head start on it. I do get that mentality, but what you're then going to do is when you then move into healthy, sustainable weight loss, you're just going to get peed off. You are starting off with bad habits, and to get rid of bad habits is very, very hard, right? And it doesn't matter whether you do this for a couple of weeks, whether you do it for a month, whether you do it for 6 weeks, it doesn't, the time scale is kind of irrelevant. You are setting off with bad habits. It's like learning to drive and crossing your hands straight away. Your instructor will never say, if you've ever learned to drive, your driving instructor never said, yeah, forget about blind spots, cross your hands all the time, do this, do that, and do the other. And then once we've got you're happy changing gear and driving around, then we'll beat all those bad habits out of you. So don't worry about that. Do the X straight away. Check your mirrors. Check your blind spot. Stop crossing your hands while you're parking. Right? So jumping on things like MJ just for 2 months to try and boost. For me personally, I just don't see the point in it. I think you're just setting yourself up to fail long term, because you're going to, if you're like, I'll just do it for 2 months. When you come off it in 2 months, you're like, right, now I'm off it. I'm not controlling my appetite. I'm just starting again. You might see some weight gain back again. Pointless. What's the point in losing a certain amount of weight over a short period of time just to gain some back? That's what we're trying to eradicate totally on our journey. And, it's that. This is just my own point of view. Now, don't get me wrong. If you feel you've been really, really struggling and you want to give MJ a go, give it a go, but give it a go for the right reasons. Give it commit to it and say, no, I'm going to do it for 3 months. I'm going to do it for 6 months. Right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it to help change my original things. But get away from these bad mentalities around weight loss. It's what we've got to do. We've done it for years. Crash dieting. That's all you're saying you're doing. If crash dieting worked, I've crash dieted a million times for weight loss. You've all crash dieted for weight loss. 12 sins a day, cutting carbs out, eating 1,200 calories a day. If crash dieting worked in any way, shape, or form for long-term successful weight loss, I would be out of a job. I wouldn't have a job. I would have never become the real loss boss. So, however way we try to mask it, if you're sort of like, yeah, I'm just going to do this for 2 months to lose a tremendous amount of weight and then move into healthy, you are basically still in that crash dieting mindset, and you've got to stop it. If you're going to move on to Mounjaro, you need to make the commitment that you're going to use it as a tool, probably to get to your goal. I'll be honest with you. I've had a client recently that's gone onto it because she was struggling. And in a way, I kind of get the reasons why. And I didn't try and deflect this client from going onto it, because they'd already made the decision to go onto it and order it before they even discussing it with me. If they discussed it with me first, I would have talked to them more about it. But at the end of the day, my job as a weight loss coach is to get my clients to do this healthily. If they've already made the decision to do something without my input, then my job is then to support their decision, which is what I'm doing. But that would be my thing. If you're literally sat there, if you feel you need to go on to Mounjaro, go onto it with the long-term thing that, I'm going to use it, or I'm at least going to use it for 3, 6, 9 months. Never purposely put a medication that can have some quite negative consequences on your overall health for a short-term gain, right? It's like someone in the gym going, I'm just going to take steroids for 2 months. I'm going to take steroids for 2 months. It happens all the time. I'm going to take steroids for 2 months, get a bit hench in the gym. Once I get a bit hench in the gym, right, then I'll come off them and I'll just train naturally. As soon as you start using steroids and you see those things, and then you come off it and you don't see anywhere near the results you were getting while on it, the addiction's there. Next thing you're back on it. That's just my 2 pence worth. That is honestly just my 2 pence worth, because I've got to be honest with things like that, because anyone that's just like, I'll just inject a medication for a month just to give me a bit of a better result on the scale short term. That's what you're doing. Is it good? No. I'll always say this, Mounjaro is a great tool if used in the right way, if used by the right people. If used in the wrong way by the wrong people, or just used by the right people but in the wrong way, it'll be more detrimental than it will be beneficial. It absolutely will long term. People will chase numbers. on this medication. I lost £3 a week, right? Now I've decided to do it naturally, which I know is the right way to do it, but I can't get out of my head. If I just did another month on MJ, I'd lose this. If I just did another month on it, I'd just do this. Same with taking those steroids when you're training. Yeah, I know I shouldn't really be taking them, but I want to get to this size, so let's just do it again and again, and let's take a little bit more. Next thing, you're 2 years down the line, and you're just no better off, or you might be better off, but you're addicted to something. It's one of them, Right, let me scan up. And like Mark, you've made the decision. Why I've got to talk like this openly about it is because you've come on a social media platform and laid that out to 60 odd people, and I've just got to say, some people. I always say this: people that are desperate to achieve something are very easily influenced. Most people are desperate to lose weight, so they'll read one thing. We did this about peer pressure with weight loss. I was talking about it briefly the other day. I'm going to do a live on it, a weight loss coaching live on it. About how hard it is when you're in an office and someone's crash dieting and they're going, I've lost £10 this month, and you're sat there going, I've lost £5 this month, and that's kind of the thing. That's what we get wrapped up in. All right, well, maybe if I just had cabbage soup for a month, I could lose £12. Yeah, but if you lose weight healthily and sustainably and do it in the right fashion, you'll stop jumping from fad diet to fad diet to fad diet to fad diet, right? Where when you're on that fad diet, you might get very quick results. But there's a reason why 2 years down the line, you're still trying to find that magic cure for weight loss. That's what we're doing. There isn't one. The only cure to weight loss is hard work and graft and changing your overall lifestyle to not only support weight loss, but to support maintaining those losses going forward, Let's go. I lose an average between 2-3 pounds every check-in. I eat well on it. Yeah, Anna, I think you are a perfect example of. So I don't think Anna will. Anna's sort of saying there. Me and Anna have worked together for a long time. She's really struggled with consistency for several different reasons. Some personal, mental, some just approach a little bit, But Anna's moved on. In fact, I've done Anna's check-in this morning. It'll be up here somewhere. Here it is. So Anna went on MJ at the beginning of April, and she did struggle with her previously with consistency. She chipped away. She was 18 pounds down when she started on her MJ, but she's been very up and down. She's been lighter than that with me. She's been, heavier than that with me, obviously, if she's 18 pounds down. But anyway, Anna started taking MJ, and since then, Anna's done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 check-ins. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've had 8 losses. And in all honesty, 8 losses, 1 gain. And the gain, I think we either ended up. She had 1 check-in where the scale showed a loss of £12, which in 2 weeks, obviously, it's not body fat. I just think it was a very big false positive, because when she weighed in after that, she was £6 up. So I just think Anna the scales were either having a brain fart, or Anna just caught the scales at the wrong time. So it's a bit of an unfair sort of thing, that. But Anna's consistency has been amazing. And because she struggled for years with consistency, I fully supported her decision to go on Mounjaro. I think it was a good tool. Again, used by the right person in the right way, it can be very beneficial. Anna moved on to Mounjaro in April. She didn't ramp up her dose. She stayed on her 2.5 milligram, which is the loading dose, and most suppliers want you on 5 milligram within 4 weeks. Nope. She stayed on that loading dose for nearly 3 months, 2.5 milligram. And then at the end of June was when she sort of felt that things, and she's moved on to 5 milligram. She's checked in this morning. She's been on 5 milligrams, 6-7 weeks. Perfectly happy on it, not planning. Absolute perfect. Anna is a perfect example of someone who should use Mounjaro, or, would benefit from using Mounjaro. She's using it in the right way. And since going on it, she's lost 25 pounds, April, May, June, July, in 4 and a bit months, which is like £6 a month, which is just like Anna's saying there. She's losing £2-3 per check-in, £1.5 a week on average. Perfect. absolute perfect example of what you can achieve. It's then my job as a coach, because eventually Anna's hopefully going to hit her goal. And then, but Anna she's not over restricting herself. She's still taking my approach into account. She's still tracking her calories. She's still being good with her movement. She's still trying to make these lifestyle changes. And she's just using MJ as that little guide, that little shoulder just to lean on, just to help her a little bit. And by doing that, we're going to have to wean Anna off it, right? Because, appetite will increase as Anna comes off Manjaro, but we'll sort it. We'll get there because she's using it in the right way. Doing very, very good, very, very good indeed. Let's see. Completely agree. It needs to be used correctly. I only just moved up after 3 months. 100%. There are people that start taking 2.5 on 10 milligram within 3 months. There are people, that are on it that don't need to be on it. They're not even that much overweight. They might have a bit of a weight issue, but they're not that much overweight. There's people that are just over suppressing, that are using MJ for weight loss rather than using what you should be using for weight loss. And like I say, just using it as a helping hand, which is the appetite suppression. That is what the helping hand is. Claire F, good morning, Neil. Good morning. And I tried everything, also being a gym goer until 3 years. I'm MJ, but I'm also still exercising and eating correctly and started due to menopausal issues. Absolutely. Like I say, GLP-1s are not going anywhere. They are going to be a big part of weight loss for years and years to come, because they are just going to develop. In 4 years, we've gone from Saxenda that you injected every day, which is just a pain in the arse to keep on top of. How many of you guys take a daily prescription med, and you'd love it if you could just take it once a week? You'd be so much more consistent. But we've gone from Saxenda 4 years ago that you jab daily, that had ridiculously severe side effects. Not knowingly long-term side effects because the data is too early, but short-term, heavy nausea, really bad constipation, followed by really bad diarrhea, stomach cramps, headaches. And no wonder Saxenda disappeared, because it just wasn't worth what people were going through. There were people on TikTok having all these copper bangles, trying to ease the nausea, trying to take all these million My Wellness supplements to try and ease. And it just was never going to be a long-term solution. Now we've got to a stage with Manjaro or Wegovy where it's a weekly jab. There are side effects, of course, but the side effects are a lot less severe. What I'm noticing with my clients is the side effects are only really kicking in as the doses are getting to 7.5 or more. There's still side effects at 2.5 and 5, but nothing that's not manageable. A bit of nausea, a little bit of queasiness, maybe the odd little headache here and there. And that can just be your body adapting. The side effects that people got on Saxenda from the start, I've had a few clients that have experienced that when they're getting up to 10 milligram, but that'll improve again. It will just keep evolving and evolving and evolving. It'll probably end up getting to a case where it could be a little bit like that. Like people nowadays, type 1 diabetics, I know it's very, very expensive, but you can get these things that just, as and when you need it, you basically have a pancreas that's on the outside of your body. And as and when you need it, it will just feed insulin in. And it's not a set amount. It's not like 60 mil. It's not 60 mils, but it's not like you're taking this much, every 4 hours to try and control it. It's like, oh, I can tell blood sugars are rising quite up. We'll put this much into the body. Manjaro could end up being like that. Could end up being a monthly thing. Could end up being a bit like you can get a contraceptive injection that lasts for 6 months. Will a GLP-1 get to something where it could last for 6 months? I don't know. It will evolve and evolve and evolve, Will it be a game changer for weight loss? Yes and no. Game changer for weight loss, yes. Game changer for successful weight loss. Will it make a big dent in the obesity epidemic? No. No, it won't. Not at the moment. And I'll tell you why. You might think it would. You might think it would, in 3 years' time, are the obesity rates in the UK going to be the same as they were today? Yeah. Why? Because people aren't using it in the right way yet. There's very little education about it. There's very little coaching alongside it. And the majority of people that I've seen are just using it as a fad diet still. They're using it as the method, right? As the approach. Rather than using it as a helping hand, they are just... in fact, I was talking to a lady yesterday and... excuse me. She said, "Oh, you're the guy that's lost loads of weight, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah." And we were just having a natter, and she was like, and she asked me, she said, "What do you think about the weight loss injection?" I said, "Exactly the same as I say to you. Used by the right person, used the right way, very good." She said, "Yeah." She said, "I'm only asking," she said, "because my friend's been on him for 6 months and she's lost 7 pounds." I was like, "In 6 months?" And she went, "Yeah." And she said, "But she won't change her eating habits. She still wants to eat." And she said she's like 20 odd stone and she still wants to eat exactly the same way as she did. And she's managing to push past it a little bit. I don't know what dose she's on. Some people are on Mounjaro because they're getting it prescribed for diabetes, because that's what it is. If you get a diabetes subscription for Mounjaro, you'll never be on more than 5 milligram. And that a GLP-1 will always work. There'll be your body won't adapt to a GLP-1 for insulin release, right? Because that's what a GLP-1 is designed for. It's to talk to your brain, to tell your pancreas to release enough insulin to bring your blood sugars down. That will always work. And the amount for that is 5 milligram. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, this might have changed, but I've spoke to my GP about it, and he's basically said, yeah, 5 milligram is the dose. It's like when you're on metformin. Yes, but it has a maximum dose, does metformin. You'll never go any more than that, right? You might come down off it a little bit, and he said 5 milligram, you'll never need any more than that to do the job of a GLP-1. In terms of suppression for weight loss, this is where it's getting ramped up, because you'll never adapt to the GLP-1 element of it. You will adapt to the suppression of it. People learn. It's just the body adapting to it. It just stops. The digestive system starts to, your digestion speeds up a little bit. Food starts to move a little bit faster through. So, that's kind of the reason for ramping up the doses. So she could have had it prescribed through diabetes, and she's been on 5 milligram for 6 months, and it might not be working anymore. But she's still, deep fat fryer chips all the time, and this, that, and the other. And although Mounjaro will reduce the amount you can eat, if you're still eating very calorie dense foods, and she's obviously pushing past the suppression a little bit, there's no guarantee. I think a lot of people think the jab causes fat loss. Like it when it's in your system, it's just whatever you do food wise, you're just constantly losing body fat from the jab being in your system. It doesn't cause fat loss, right? Nothing causes fat loss, right? Liposuction will cause fat loss. Other than that, nothing, I've seen patients with gastric bands who melt chocolate, etc. And I've worked with so many post-bariatric patients that have just learned to adapt their eating habits, because it's torturous. It's torturous. I'll tell you why. Most people that have severe weight issues, and these are the people that tend to go for bariatric surgery, right? You are not overweight. I was 37 stone, right? I was not 37 stone because I chose the wrong things to eat. And I was a bit lazy. I was not 37 stone because of that. Can you get to 15, 16, 17 stone? Yeah, right? You don't eat the amounts of food you need to eat just because of a bit of a poor diet and a bit of a lack of exercise, right? I got to be 37 stone because of emotional eating, food addiction. Now, some people might laugh at that. I talk about food addiction a lot, and you get people in the comments. It's just a state of mind. Addiction is a state of mind. Of course it is. What do you think addiction is, right? But, it's just an excuse. You can't be addicted to food. There are different levels of addiction, different types of addiction. right? And I fully agree, foods do not have the same addictive properties as something like drugs, but it's habit that can be a big addiction with it. Anyway, with food, I got to 37 stone because I was a massive emotional eater. I just ate all the time whether I was hungry or not to mask what was going on in here. It's what kept this under control. It was like an antidepressant for me. That is basically what it was. You go to the doctors, you get your sertraline, you get citalopram, you get all these things that talk to your brain to try and get it to chill out. Food did that for me, right? And because my brain is was just constantly in a negative state, and it's just something I wanted to step away from my brain, and I flipping couldn't. Food allowed me to step away, right? So when I was angry, I ate. It stopped me being angry. When I was stressed, it stopped me being stressed. When I was lonely, it stopped me being lonely. When I felt rejected, it gave me a hug, right? So I just constantly ate food. That's why I ended up being 37 stone. You go and have bariatric surgery, it doesn't take that emotional need away, or that emotional response, or the emotions that you are going through. It doesn't go, right, now I've had my 85% of my stomach removed, suddenly I don't get lonely, I don't get stressed, I don't get angry, I don't feel rejection anymore. It doesn't do that. What it does do is stop you using food in the way you used to use food to mask that, which was just overeating. Overeating, right? I can't overeat anymore. My stomach's like that big, and it's gone from that size to that size. But I still want that constant drive of food. So what do? Well, I have to adapt my eating pattern. So bariatric surgery stops me eating a lot of food in one hit, right? But it doesn't stop me eating a lot of calories over a period of time. So rather than eating 3 or 4 big meals and binge all the time, maybe I graze all day. I had a bariatric client, used to suck on chocolate all day. I had another one that used to coat things in butter because she found that it allowed things to slip into her stomach easier, right? And then once you've healed, once you've fully healed from your bariatric surgery, your stomach's still a balloon. When we're babies, our stomach is this big. So how does it get to being this big? Because we gradually stretch it out over time. You can still do that, right? You can reverse your bariatric surgery. This is what a lot of people do. But when you can't, when you need your drug, which is food, right, and that is taken away from you because basically you've had your mouth taped up, that is mental torture. And to get over that mental torture, you'll adapt your eating patterns to still take in a lot of calories. You just can't take them in one hit. Does that kind of make sense? So this is why so many people have bariatric surgery and regress backwards. People just think, that's it, I've had my bariatric surgery now, I'll lose my weight and I'll never be fat ever again. Nah, I've worked with loads of post-bariatric clients that have gained all their weight back. In fact, I have not had many bariatric clients come on. First, 2021 when I first started, loads. 2022, loads. 2023, a few. 24, 25, since the jabs have become popular, I just think I would love to know the rate of bariatric surgery in this country in not 2020, COVID, there wasn't much going on then, but let's say 2017, 2018, 2019, 2021, 22. I'd love to know the rates of 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. I guarantee it's gone like that. I guarantee, right, it has gone 100%. Because I'm not seeing many clients that are coming to me. I've had bariatric surgery in the last 6 months. I've not had one actually. I don't think I've had one new. Has anyone signed up to me this year? I've got clients that have had bariatric surgery. I've probably got about 5 on plan at the moment. But I don't think I've had anyone that's joined me in 2025 that's had their surgery in 2025. Maybe one actually. One might spring to mind. But normally I get several each year. Yeah, normally I get several each year. I say, is gambling not addictive? Then when they say that again, Pickle. Gambling's addictive, 100%. Gambling's addictive. And again, I suppose this is where people go with food addiction. Gambling doesn't give you a withdrawal from like nicotine or a withdrawal from alcohol, but it does give you a withdrawal from something. It's also a distraction. Also, with gambling, a big part of gambling is no one wins gambling. No one. I'm a gambler. I used to be addicted to gambling. I lost 40 grand in from 2000 and I would say from 2002 to 2004, I lost between 40 and 50,000 pound playing poker. From 1998 to 1999, I probably put over 10,000 pound in fruit machines. I've got a massive addictive personality. This is why I want to get tested for ADHD, because it's a massive. There's a big correlation between ADHD and addiction. I've been addicted to alcohol. I've been addicted to other substances that aren't legal, that you have to phone people on special phones to get. I've been addicted to gambling. I've been addicted to smoking. I've been addicted to food. Yeah, I've done a lot. I've done every addiction under the sun. Yeah, conquered them all. I still gamble now, but I can control it. And I mean that sincerely. I do. I literally put I gamble. Always gamble responsibly. 20 quid a week when the footy season's on. In fact, I looked at my Paddy Power the other day. I've got £10 in my Paddy Power account, and I've not paid any money into my Paddy Power account since May. Right? So, yeah, I've learned to control it. I still drink alcohol. I've learned to control it. I've not had an alcoholic drink for 6 days, but that's not that good. But I can count on two hands the amount of times alcohol in this country. I could actually probably count on one hand the amount of times I've had alcohol. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, might be 5 times in 2025. So I've managed to control it. Food, I've managed to control. The things that were illegal that I was addicted to, I don't want to control that. I don't want to do that. That's gone. That's out the window. Smoking, could I go and have a couple of cigarettes on a night out and not smoke again? Absolutely. I don't want to. It's a disgusting habit. Not interested. Right? And it is. I'm not actually one of them horrible ex thingies. I'm not. And because they've just banned smoking on terraces in Spain, which everyone's in uproar about. And I get it. It's not nice sitting next to people that smoke. It isn't. I am an ex-smoker. It does stink. It absolutely, a guy the other day at Greg's, he was outside having a cigarette. Everyone deserves, if you want a break, have a cigarette break. And then he came straight in, and he wasn't serving me, but he come straight behind the counter, and the smell that was coming off him from his cigarette, I was just like, it is just disgusting. It really, really is. And I used to that when I used to go out. I used to go out when you could smoke in pubs, and you wake up in the morning and your pillow and your sheets, and even as a smoker, it stunk. And now you're not a smoker, and because smoking isn't that popular anymore. And again, I understand the addiction to it. It's very, very hard to quit. It's very, and I think the majority of people now that do smoke would, I'd say 20 years ago, if you said to people, "Do you want to quit smoking?" There'd be a lot of people. No, I enjoy it. I think now the majority of people that do smoke would like to quit, and there's certainly way less. I always find it funny now when I'm driving and I see people smoking in cars. I used to see it all the time. I used to do it myself. Window down, having a cigarette out of the car. When you see it now, it's a really rare occurrence, but very hard addiction to quit. But yeah, I don't want to control that. In fact, on holiday when we went in June, Rachel's cousin's fellow was like, "Oh, I think I might get a cigar. Do you fancy one? I like having a bit of a cigar." I was like, "No, I'm not interested." And there's nothing wrong with that. Do you know what I mean? Again, I'm not. Some people have cigars and just every now and then like one with a brandy or a drink or something like that. But I'm just for me. And I think also with smoking, my dad smoked for all his life. My dad quit smoking 6 years before he died, but he got cancer and his cancer got into his lungs. And the doctors literally said, my dad died 13 weeks after his cancer diagnosis, but the doctor was literally like, his lungs are shot from, he smoked 20 B&H a day from being 15 to being 59. His oncologist was like, "Robert, your lungs are, I know you quit 5 years ago, mate, but your lungs are shot." And once it got into his lungs, that was it. He was out. See you later. Little things like that scare you, right? I smoked for 10 years. Your lungs don't heal from smoking. The tar is still sat there, right? So I'm just like, but I'm hoping I've quit early enough for it not to have affected me. I'm not trying to scare or fearmonger anyone, but that's the truth. I'm not going to lie. And people know the truth, don't they, about it? It is something that's, and don't get me wrong, someone will always pipe up that'll go, well, the oldest woman in the world, she used to smoke cigarettes and she was 100. There's always going to be an anomaly. There's always going to be an anomaly. Not everyone that's obese dies in the 50s, right? There are morbidly obese people that live to be 70 and 80. It doesn't mean that everyone's gonna be that lucky, if that makes sense, you know. Right, let me scan down. Sorry to bring it down on people. There's lots of people on the live now just chucking the cigarettes in the bin. You should do, right? I'm not sure if it's my day. Just got back from 2 weeks away. Emma, yeah, if you want to send a check-in over, send one over. If you want to do a post, we won't look into it. You've been on holiday. Emma P, you've been on plan long enough with me to know that there might be a little bump on the scale. So if you want to do a post-holiday check-in, yeah, get it sent over. Do you do calorie deficit calculations? I certainly do. TikTok profile, click on a link tree. You can sign up to my community and you'll get a full calorie breakdown. £5 for your first month. That's it. If you want a bit more help than that, I am a one-to-one coach. It's a minefield of confusion. It is. Weight loss is a minefield of confusion. Why? Most people want to confuse you. They want you to they want to confuse you. They want you to think it is way more complicated than it actually is. Why? That's how they sell you stuff, right? Now, am I trying to sell you stuff? Yes, it's my job, right? I'm not going to do, I've got a mortgage to pay. It is my job, right? And I'm a professional at this. I've done it for a lot of years. I've got qualifications in it all. So, but one thing I would always want people to believe from me is I used to be 37 stone. I have been lied to by the weight loss fitness industry for years and years and years. I personally cannot do that to anyone, right? I am not here to line my pockets. Yes, it's my job. Yes, I've got bills to pay. Yes, I like going on holiday. Yes, I've got a car, right? But I have been lied to, and I've been lied to so many times about weight loss, and I just couldn't do it. I've just got too many morals too. So I do speak the truth. Now, your bodybuilders that have never had a weight issue, or people that don't have a conscience, they will lie to you, because it's more important to put money into their bank accounts and have lots of followers. Oh, I've got 3 million followers on TikTok, than it is to genuinely help people. I'm more interested in genuinely helping people. Does that mean, less followers? Yep. Does it mean less engagement? Yes. Does it mean it's harder for me to make money in this industry? Yeah, it is. Well, there it is. That's it. I'm not pleading poverty, by the way. I do all right. My business is ticking over nicely. So thank you very much for anyone that supports me. So if you want a full calorie breakdown, no one will take excess skin weight into consideration with working out deficit. What do you mean by that, Angela? Your weight's your weight. Like what you like, if you want me to work out your calories, I need to know your weight, including everything. Just get on the scales. If you're like, well, I weigh 14 stone, but I know I've got a stone and a half of excess skin, so I want my calculations based on 12 and that. No, we take your skin into consideration. It's weight. Weight means you're carrying it around with you. That means more calories burned. So I've got excess skin, right? My weight currently includes, from my weight loss, probably still carrying about 14 pounds of excess skin. Excess skin, by the way, does not weigh as much as you might think. I used to think I had, I've had fleur-de-lis abdominoplasty, a lot of excess skin removed off my front. I've had breast augmentation and breast augmentation. Breast reduction, it was called breast augmentation when I went, right? I've had a lot of loose skin removed from here. I thought it weighed about 2 stone. It weighed about 10, 11 pounds. All right. I guess £7 extra skin. Yeah, so your weight's your weight, and £7 in the grand scheme of things does not affect calories anyway. Whether you're £7, someone that weighs 15 stone, someone weighs 40.5 stone, and they move exactly the same height, same sex. You've got two identical twins, same height, same sex, same age, right? And one weighs 15 stone, one weighs 4.5 stone. The calorie difference in birth isn't going to be massively different. It isn't going to be massively different. Yeah. Anyway, TikTok profile. Click on my link tree. Join my community. You get full calorie breakdown from me. You'll know your metabolism, your maintenance, and your deficit calories. If you need more help than that, if you're struggling with your weight loss, still got my summer deals going. They're going for another just 2.5 weeks. I put these summer deals on like 5-6 weeks ago. There's 2.5 weeks left. Half price sign up, 15 quid sign up. $29.99 a month after that for 3 months. That's it. So in total, to cover you until you're going to be covered till Christmas, right? You sign up to my one-to-one monthly plan now. I'll cover you till we finish for Christmas, right? For 105 quid. And that's spread out. 15 quid now. 30 quid can be the end of August, 30 quid the end of September, 30 quid the end of October. Oh, you'll be covered till November, sorry. Right? You'll be covered virtually Christmas. Yeah. So you'll be covered all of September, all of October, all of November, the rest of August for 105 quid. Right? And you can be over a stone lighter going into Christmas. Yeah. That's my one-to-one plan. Monthly. If you're like, I need to sort my life out, right? I've been failing for years and years and years of weight loss. I need to get at this. Sign up for a year. It's the best deal you'll get. It's 21 quid a month it works out at. You don't pay £200 a month. It's a one-off payment, 260 quid. One-off payment done. No direct debits. Nothing going out your bank account. It's cheap as chips, right? I know everyone's money situation is different, but it's cheap as chips. It's like one-off payment, 260 quid for a year's weight loss coaching. The monthly one's like 15 quid. But if you just want a calorie breakdown, it's a £5. To join my community for your first month, 5 quid. That's it. After that, if you decide to stay in the community, you find it a really helpful place, it's $9.99 a month. So, but if you just want a calorie breakdown, you just want to come in, get your calories and leave, pay a £5, that's fine. You can cancel whenever you want. You're in control of that. There's no contract. Yeah. How do you get the real information about weight loss then? You've just answered your own question, James. It's in your question. Yeah? Read it again. Let me scan down and see if I miss anything. I've got to go. Bariatric surgery has remained steady on the NHS, but private and overseas has dropped significantly. Brilliant, Hannah. Why is it staying steady on the NHS? Because it's free. It's not free, but the NHS pay for it. So yeah, I would definitely, because bariatric surgery on the NHS wouldn't have been the majority. I wouldn't have thought of bariatric surgery done in this country anyway. Private, going to Turkey and getting it done, which everyone seems to be doing in 2022. That makes perfect sense. I've had a couple of clients over the last couple of years. Yeah, last year and this year. I think I've had one this year actually that like been on the wait list 4 years, been offered bariatric surgery. I really don't know what to do about it. But they've both gone ahead with it. Both of them have been really umming and ahhing about it because they've actually. I had one client, I'm not going to mention any names, was doing really, really good with me. Dropped 7 or 8 stone in the space of a year. Then said, look, I've been on the list for 3.5 years. It's come up. I think I'm going to do it. I was like, fine, because I'm still going to work with you. He hasn't worked with me since he did come off plan. And he has, I do follow him on Instagram and he has posted. And I'd love to know why, because I'm gutted because I really want to help him. But if he kept going on the trajectory I was coaching him to, he'd have been 15 stone now. And the last time he posted his weight update a few months ago, he was like only a couple of stone lighter than he was when he came off plan 2 years after having bariatric surgery. And this is a classic example. I was working with him massively on his mentality around food. You don't get that with bariatric surgery, and it's took over. And I can, and I'm gutted for it. Don't get me wrong, he's miles lighter than he was when he started with me, and he certainly will be in a much better place, but he's nowhere where he could have been. And that's because he took the decision. But I get it. If you're getting offered a 10 grand operation for nothing, and if you turn it down and you then struggle, you don't get to go, can I just have 12 months to think about it? You don't get that. It is a big decision to turn it down. It is a big decision to turn it down. It really, really is, you know. Anyway, there we go. That's it. I'm going. I said I was going to be on until just after 10. It's now 20 past 10. And I'm still here. You know me. I often thought how he was doing. Yeah, a lot of people know who I'm talking about. And he's such a good guy. And he was really an integral part of the community. And I was gutted he left, not for money purposes, just because kind of knew the path he was going to end up going down. And like I say, from his posts that I've seen and on social media, I'm gutted he's not made the progress I think he thought he was going to make. But he is in a much better place. He is in a much better place weight wise because he is still holding quite steady or firm with it. But yeah, I'd love a catch up with him, but I won't message people, and that's not an ignorance thing on my part. I always think people have got to reach out. You know, I weighed myself today, lost another pound. I'm watching you, Stacey. I'm watching you. It is good. I think you're doing all right. Stacey, if you can, next Wednesday, come on the weight loss session and we'll have a chat about it. Yeah. Anas, I need to stop weighing myself weekly. Stopped on the scales today and put on half a pound, but I had a great week on my deficit. It really is heartbreaking. It is, isn't it? I get why it's heartbreaking. That's just because you've got an unhealthy relationship with weight loss, and it takes time to fix. And it's you've interacted with me enough to know that it's if everything's been bang on, this is the thing with scales. Scales weigh your weight. Write that on your scales. Write that in your bathroom. Wherever you put your scales, read it before you get on there. These scales weigh my weight. They do not weigh my fat. Whether the scales go up or down, that does not represent fat loss, or that does not represent total fat loss or fat gain from the last time I got on these scales, right? The only thing that will represent consistent fat loss is consistent losses on these scales over a long period of time. Have that paragraph injected into your mind somewhere, right? Because then you read it and get on the scales and go, my weight is this. That is not a true reflection of what my body fat has done since the last time I got on the scales. I'm in a 3,500 calorie deficit. I lose a pound of body fat. I gain 1.5 pounds of water retention because, for whatever reason, stress, if you're female, time of the month, medication you might have gone on, some extra painkillers you've took, lack of hydration, bit more salt in a couple of meals, a couple of days before weighing, a few more carbs before weighing. Well, there's loads of reasons. Gain 1.5 pounds of body fat, gain 1.5 pounds of water retention, lose a pound of body fat. The scales are going to go up 0.5 pound because they show your weight. They don't show your fat. Scales weigh. I got on the scales this morning. I've currently decided, because I'm going away in 4 weeks and I've got a few clients weighing weekly, I'm not logging it as a check-in, but I've decided to weigh weekly alongside my weekly clients as a trial just to see what my fluctuations are weekly, right? I got on the scales this morning. And what was I saying? Oh, when I got on the scales this morning, those scales weighed my skin. They weighed my heart. They weighed my liver. They weighed my bones, right? That's not fat. My muscle isn't fat. It's muscle. My skin isn't fat. It's skin. It's got fat attached to it, subcutaneous fat, but it's not fat. It's skin. So the only thing a calorie deficit does is cause fat loss. What percentage of your body is fat, right? Because my scales weigh my bones, weigh my skin. They weigh my beard, right? They weighed my boxers because I was wearing boxers when I got on the scales this morning. They also weighed my Apple Watch because I was wearing that as well, right? It weighs my muscles, my heart, my lungs. It weighs any undigested food that possibly might have been in my stomach. It weighed semi-digested food that's in my small intestine. It weighs digested food that's in my large intestine. It weighs waste food that's sat in my bowel. It weighs urine that's sat in my bladder, right? Your scales weigh all those things because they're all part of your body, right? And there's several of those things that can change on an hourly basis, on a daily basis, on a monthly basis. Here I have just over half a bottle of water. This weighs just over half a pound. I am now half a pound heavier. I am now half a pound heavier. Why am I half a pound heavier? Because this half a pound of water is now sat here. I'm half a pound heavier. That's how easy it is to change our weight. And the scales will show that. Right? So this is what we have to understand about the scales. And it takes time to teach ourselves to change our mindset. But you've just got to keep working at it. And if you keep working at it, you will get there. Right, I've got to go because I'm going to have to go and pick the dog up shortly. This morning's disappeared and I've not got stuck into checking. So I've done about 20, but I've got about another 30 to go. And it's not even manic checking day today. Guys, need help from me? Join the community. £5, one-off, not one-off payment. £5 for your first month, £10 a month after that. If you stick in the community, it's no contract. But if you really want the help, one-to-one plan. 15 quid to sign up. You've got 2 weeks to take advantage of that. $29.99 a month for a minimum 3 months. After that, no contract, cancel whenever you want to. But you can keep working with me for 6, 12 months if you do want to. If you are sat there and you're like, nah, I need, I want to lose 4 or 5 stone, and I want the commitment and the support and the accountability to be, next August, I want to be 4 or 5 stone lighter. Join my one-to-one plan. We'll get you there. No miracle cures from me. You've got to put the effort in. You're consistent with what I teach you, you'll be there, right? There's no like, oh, do you hold the key? I don't hold. There's no magic keys or numbers to weight loss. Do this consistently, but I'll show you the best way to approach weight loss so you can be consistent. You still got to do it though, all right? I'll always be honest with that. Right, I'm out of here. That's me. I'll be back. When will I be back? Monday. I said it's Friday. Christ. Right, I'll be back 8:30 a.m. Monday. Have a lovely weekend. TikTok. I'll sign off to you first, actually. I always forget to sign off to Facebook, YouTube. I always worry sometimes. Don't worry, I never do anything like offensive or something like that. But I just think sometimes I forget to end the Facebook, YouTube live. I might have done this before in the past. And I'm just sat there probably picking my nose or doing something. And it's just recorded. But anyway, there we go. We all do it. It's fine. Right, guys, we're here. TikTok. I'll see you Monday morning, 8:30 a.m. Facebook, YouTube. Have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday morning, 8:30 a.m.